Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas and this is the ultimate Unity tutorial for beginners, and welcome to episode 22. In this tutorial we're going to take a look at getting our skeleton to die rather than just disappear, so we'll work a little bit with animation, and we're also going to deal with him hurting us, so we're going to have some health and we'll probably display it on the screen as well so we can visually see what's going on. Don't forget, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon as well to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload for this series and everything else on my channel. If you've enjoyed this series so far, then please feel free to check out my Patreon, where you'll get things like early access to these tutorials, you'll get exclusive content, project files, and so much more. With that in mind, let's get to work. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take our skeleton and apply a death animation to him. So we've already got a few animations from him: attack, idle, and walk. So we just need to find the death animation, which is this one right here. If you're using a different model, you would just find the equivalent for your model. So we need to open that up by pressing the little button, click on death animation, hold Control, press D to duplicate, and make sure we don't tick loop time on this one, because we don't want the animation to continually loop. We only want it to occur once. Next thing, if we go to our skeleton enemy and double click on the controller in the animator component and just drag and drop your death animation into there. Don't need to do anything else with it, it's fine as it is, because we can deal with playing the animation via the C# script. So that's all set. So let's head back to our scene view, and yeah, I'm sure you guys know what's coming up now. Let's head and do some C#. So we need to open up the script, which is skeleton enemy. Now, this is the line of code which says make the game object disappear. So when our skeleton has 0 or less health, he disappears. So I'm going to annotate out that line for now, and below it I'm going to put the line of code which allows us to play the death animation instead. So this dot get component, and in spiky brackets, animator, open close bracket, dot play, and in brackets and quotes the name of that death animation. So mine is quite literally death, and semicolon. If yours is different, just remember to put the name of your animation right there. So that's all good and well. He will play the death animation, but he will still keep moving towards us and then attack us randomly from the dead, which is a little bit odd. So as we go through this, you'll also, or some of you may have spotted a little bug, a little glitch that I created in the last tutorial, which we are going to fix before we get around to trying this out. But before we get to that, we need to apply a couple more lines of code to stop the AI from working, and we've previously done that in the skeleton AI script. If you remember, we had these lines of code: the skeleton.getComponent, navigation AI enabled false. Same with the navmesh agent. Let's copy those two lines of code from the skeleton AI script and paste them into our skeleton enemy script underneath that death animation play. Next thing we'll need to do is, rather than say the skeleton, we can just type the word this, because it's going to refer directly to the game object that it's attached to. Same with this one, this. And you'll notice navmesh agent is underlined in red. Just like our skeleton AI script, we need to use the namespace for AI. So even though navmesh may not seem like an AI component, it actually is. Unity defines it as AI. So at the top, we need to have using Unity engine.ai semicolon, and we can save that script. Now this theoretically should work, but what I need to do first is head to our inflict damage script. And this line we have here, if input.getButtonDown fire1 and axis swinging equals false, we actually need to change that to true. You don't necessarily have to have this section right here, but it's probably wise to at least. You don't necessarily have to have that and here. The reason we change it to true is by the time it gets to this line of code, we'll have already executed our axe, so is swinging would actually be true and not false. So if you've had that issue where it's not attacking, it's not working, yeah, there's a problem. And in a lot of ways, I think this is why I've brought this tutorial out a lot sooner than what it would have been, because I know this is quite a tricky little bug for some people to try and resolve. So we just need to change that to true and then save. Head back into Unity and it's just compiling. It'll take just a second. So let's try this out now. If we press play, pick up our axe and then attack our skeleton, he will actually play that death animation. So head through our little forest. Oh, there's the axe. So let's take it and let's attack him. 1, 2. And there we go. So, okay, so we have a little bit of a bug here. Now, I know one way we can actually get around this. What we'll need to do is actually disable the box collider for our skeleton enemy. So this thing right here. So if we go back to our script of skeleton enemy, this dot get component, and in brackets, box collider, open close bracket, dot enabled equals false. Semicolon, save. And let's head back to Unity. And when it's compiled, we'll try that out again. So I'm sure I've said it before in this series, a lot of game development is this over and over. It's a lot of trial and error to make sure you get the right things. Not everything will work first time, as we've quite clearly seen. That is the beauty of game development. Okay, so let's attack our skeleton again. There we go. Oh, and he's still dying. Okay, so let's take a look at why he would still be dying. Now, I'm thinking we probably need to get rid of this script as well, maybe. So something somewhere is triggering something that we're not happy with. So what we may try and do, because it seems to be when we walk into him, he just kind of re-dies again. So something somewhere is triggering that, and we need to understand exactly why. So yep, there he goes again. So let's see if we can figure out why this is occurring. Good old glitches in Unity. It may be... Ah, okay. So we've probably got to turn off this cylinder. So we'll go with that. I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, I remember why we added that, because that was its its actual detection. So that's my fault. Always good to get rid of the collider as well. So that's fine. So what we'll do is add in public game object and attack obj, short for object. So that will be the cylinder. So let's head down to the bottom and have attack obj dot set active false, semicolon, and save. And now I can guarantee this will actually work. So let's head back to our scene view right here, and on the skeleton itself, just attach that final game object over there. And let's save our scene and try this out. So while we're quickly trying this out, I'll explain what we're going to do next. So we can attack our enemy and we can make him lose health. He doesn't take off health from us. So we're going to set up a cool, quick, unique way to kind of lead us on to the next stage for him to attack us. And we can visually see how much health he is taking from us. There we go. So now he's dead. And he's dead and gone. That's it. Glitch sorted. So let's work on our health now. So if we go to our script folder, right click, create, and C# script, and we'll call this health monitor. And let's open that up in Visual Studio. So this is going to be the basics to actually allowing us to control how much health we have. Because I want to display it on the screen at the same time, we need to have at the top the namespace using Unity Engine .UI. obviously because I'm going to display it as text just for now. What we need to do next is we need to declare a couple of variables. So public static, and we're using static here because we need the enemy to allow itself to interact with this script to take health off us. So we're going to have this as int, and we'll have health points, semicolon. I'd like to have this as an internal value as well, just so we know what's going on. So public int internal health, semicolon. And in void update, we will just have internal health equals health points, semicolon. By default, let's have this equal to 100 or whatever number you would like. Next variable we're going to declare is just a quick text box on screen so we can see when he's attacking us and how much health he is taking off us. So public game object health display, semicolon, and then we'll have health display dot get component, and in spiky brackets text, close bracket, dot text is equal to double quote plus health points, semicolon, and save that script. So next thing we need to do is let's go to our skeleton AI, and we need to add in just a little bit here because we need to determine the amount of time it takes for him to attack us, which is I think probably about 2 seconds, I believe. So in skeleton AI, what we need to do is go down here, and we need to have a numerator, and let's call it take health, open close bracket, open curly bracket. And at this point we need to go yield return new, wait for seconds, and in brackets I'm going to have 2, but yours may be different. You may need to refine it just a little bit more. And after that, what we need to do is have the fact that our skeleton is attacking. It'll also stop a little glitch that we've had previously where he kind of stops attacking. We're going to make him fully attack at this point as well. So yield return new, wait for seconds, and after those 2 seconds we're going to say health monitor dot what did we call it? That's it, health points minus equals, I say 10, semicolon. At this point we're going to add in a bool for our attacking mechanism. So public bool is attacking, semicolon. Actually by default we'll make that false, semicolon. So void on trigger enter, what we need to do is in here we need to say if, in brackets, is attacking equals false, then we need to do those 3 lines of code, but we also need to do another line of code. We need to start this coroutine. So start coroutine, and in brackets take health, close bracket, semicolon. So here we've got 2 seconds waiting for him to attack, take 10 points off our health, and after that, or rather at the same time, we're going to say is attacking equals false, which means just after we start this if statement here, we need to say is attacking equals true, semicolon, and save. So what this will do is it will prevent the attack from continually occurring. We'll probably deal with this a little bit more as well because there's a lot more to delve into the little fine tuning of it. For now, this mechanism will do just fine until we're ready to really bring all of our mechanics together. So quickly, I need to add in a game object UI text. And this text is going to display our health. Let's have it just as white. Let's have it in the top left corner. Just bring it into position there. Probably make the text a little bit bigger. Let's have that as 22. So next thing we need to do is let's add in the script we created, our health monitor. So let's go to, in fact, let's have this on our FPS controller so we keep everything together because we've got inflict damage there. So that inflict the damage object, I'm going to hold control, press D to duplicate, rename it to health monitor, get rid of that inflict damage script and drag across the health monitor script. And then health display is going to be that text object we just created. Even though it still says new text, it will change. So let's press play. And now let's have our skeleton attack. So okay, so it looks like we've got to work with this a little bit more. So what's happening here is it's saying, so it's doing this, it's taking 2 seconds, so let's reduce that to 1.5 F, save, and let's see what we'll do. Let's disable the actual attacking, still compiling, the attacking cylinder that we've got around our skeleton enemy, the one that's caused us problems so far today. So this one, we should be, in fact, we'll press play now and we'll keep this on so we can see what's going on here. So it's attacking, there we go. It's false, attacking. So it's not doing it again. It's doing all the attack motions. It's just being a little bit slow. So we need to work with this a little bit more. So we need to get the timing right. That appears to be the biggest problem here. So I'm not going to waste too much time, but the idea of what you probably need to do is take this and work a little bit more. So I'm going to save that. Again, it's all about the timing. I think the sound effects don't really help because it doesn't give us a clear indication of what's going on. Okay. So it's still going a little bit. Yeah, it's not quite working as intended. So let's get rid of this one. Let's have it as 0.5, save, and try once more time. The mechanics of all this should work. This 100% going to plan at the moment. There we go, there's that. Okay, so what we need to do is definitely get rid of our collider. So the mesh collider is what we're going to need to get rid of just for now. So we'll have, fine, yeah, it is attached to the cylinder, so that's fine. Sorry, I'm just checking a couple of things that make sense. So attacking is true. This dot get component in spiky brackets mesh collider dot enabled equals false, and it's been a little bit silly there for some reason. Let me try that again. This dot get component spiky brackets mesh collider dot enabled equals false semicolon, and obviously we need to take that line and make it true down here, turn it back on. Not sure how this is going to react, but it should sort our, hopefully sort our skeleton out a little bit more. Attack. Okay, so we just need to get that timing. Looks like the timing is about 2.1 maybe. Save. Sorry it's taking so long, guys. Like I said earlier, this is what you get. Testing through your game can be a little bit repetitive, but once you get there, you really get there. So we should lose 10 points. Another 10. And another 10. So you can see every time he's attacking, he gets us. So if we walk away, he's still attacking. So let's take a look at why he is still attacking. Ah, of course. There's the last thing we need to do. We need to put on trigger exit the exact opposite of everything. So we need to stop that coroutine. So we can copy that line and have stop coroutine. And we need to re-enable the mesh collider right there. And we also need to have is attacking equals false and save. So we finally got there. We finally got there. Sometimes dealing with this kind of code is so frustrating because it can take you a while to figure out what exactly is going on and what's going wrong. So attack, yep, and attack. So our health is going down, and he's still attacking. So let's have a look at our skeleton enemy. He has those still turned off. So it's as though it's registering us still inside the mesh collider. So if we turn it off, then he's still going mad. He is still going mad. Okay, that is not what I expected, I'll be honest. So let's just make sure we're doing. I know you guys are probably screaming at me now, screaming saying, Jimmy, 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 what are you doing? The fact of the matter is, I can't see anything wrong here. That's the beauty of coding. So the fact he is just attacking randomly is just crazy. He's not carrying on even though he should. So let's see. Maybe if we see on trigger exit, maybe if we add these into the coroutine, maybe. So what happens if we go up to him and we turn off the cylinder? He still goes mad. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. I think taking them, placing them there, save. It's the last go. So if we can't figure it out this time, I'm going to take a look and figure out why, and then we'll come back to it in the next tutorial, which will be pretty soon after this one, I think. So, last go. Here we go. He's attacking us. He's attacking us. Okay. There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved. Got us. Okay, so he has taken health off us, and no problem. Right. Okay, so next tutorial, I want to add some sound effects into this. I want to refine it a little bit more because it's a little bit messy, but by all means, you work with this now. You try and, alter it just a little bit and see if you can get the desired effect that you want. So as well as tweaking it, we're going to deal with a health bar, and we're also going to look at a game over screen. So guys, until that next tutorial, and I apologize for the insanity of bugs and glitches and everything else in this tutorial, but I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.